We're here today in the Furlong Centre in Ringwood in Hampshire. This is another one in our series of talks where we go meeting some of the wonderful people who are working really, really hard to help our country get its sovereignty back from the European Union. And today we're going to see Ashley Mote, who's an independent MEP, and he has a bus that's touring around, and we're going to go and ask him why he's doing this and what he has to say. And here's Ashley's bus. He's the only member of the European Parliament who's an independent. He stands for the southeast of England, but he has a lot of support also from the neighbouring southwest. And he is here today to talk to his constituents and explain to them about the European Union and exactly why we should get out, how we get our sovereignty back, and just generally explain the truth behind the lies and the sleaze that we've been told for many, many years now about the European Union. And a lot of marvellous people like Ashley are here to tell you the truth. Ashley has a book coming out shortly which he'll tell you about. So over.
A lot of people are asking me why I've got this bus, because it's never been done before, and I think there's a real need for communication between members of the European Parliament who are elected for these huge regions, which aren't real regions at all except in the minds of the EU. And if you talk to most people in the southeast of England and ask them who their MEPs are, they have no idea. They don't know where to find us, they don't know how to communicate with us. And I've set out to solve that problem by putting a bus on the road as a mobile display and office. The EU defines the southeast of England as being from Margate to near Bournemouth, round London and right up to North Oxfordshire. And what the people of North Oxfordshire have in common with the people of Margate is beyond me, and I think beyond them. And yet there are 10 of us who are supposed to represent this vast area, which is actually about 83 UK constituencies. And of course people find it very difficult to get any help from any of us for the reasons I explained earlier. So we're going round the whole of the southeast over the next couple of years, visiting as many of the towns and cities in that huge area as we can, and giving people the chance to come and talk, listen, complain, ask for help, or whatever is appropriate. And I'm very encouraged by the fact that we have been well received already, and I'm sure that we will get more and more awareness of this facility as news gets around that we are coming to see you, so to speak. The other thing which is very encouraging is the sheer number of people who have not just come to complain, but have come to offer support for the fact that I'm sitting in the EU as a member trying to do myself out of a job. My objective is to see Britain governing itself again as quickly as possible. We should never have joined this lunatic asylum in the first place. It is fundamentally corrupt. It is extremely wasteful of public money. It is difficult to keep it, call it to account. And there are no benefits that I'm aware of, and I've been closely involved in the fight against the EU for many, many years. There are absolutely no benefits to our membership whatsoever. What we bring to Brussels is a vast amount of money, and what we get back from Brussels is little more than aggravation. So in a way it's a rather nice irony that this bus and the facilities in it have all been paid for by the European Union, would you believe? It took me something like 6 months to persuade them that the bus was necessary. Nobody had ever done it before, nobody had ever asked before. And of course, to start with, they found all sorts of boring bureaucratic reasons why it couldn't be done. So I said to them, well, if it can't be done, I shall take space in all the local newspapers throughout the southeast region, and I shall say in my ad, that the European Union is trying to stop an MEP talking to his constituents. And would you believe, within 24 hours all those objections to having a bus vanished, and we got the money, and here is the bus, and it's working. And if anybody who's watching this is in the southeast and wants to know more about where we'll be and when, they can get onto my website, which is www.ashleymote, ASHLEYMOTE, all one word, .com. And there's a huge amount of other material on there as well, including many of my speeches made in the European Parliament over the last 2 years, and also a large number of the questions that I've put to the Commission to make them fully aware of just how angry the British people are at being foisted into this super state which they do not want and should leave at the earliest moment.
Thank you, Ashley. And can you tell us about the book you have coming out?
One of the other lovely ironies about the European Union's giving money or making money available to MEPs is that they cannot stop what you say, and they cannot stop you saying what you want. And I have persuaded them to fund the production of a book which is in print, coming into production. Well, it's in production, but it's not yet printed. And it is a set of my speeches in Parliament, a number of my written questions, and some of the more provocative letters that I've written since I became a member. That will be available, I hope, in the next week or so, by October anyway. The new website design, which is a big upgrade on what we have at the moment, will also be operational in October, and I hope it will attract a lot of attention, and people will be able to order a copy of the book by getting onto the website.
Thank you. And I know your speciality is somewhat in the economic field of this. Can you just give us a quick rundown on exactly how much money we're actually giving the European Union and how little we get back?
Well, the current figure is something in excess of £14 billion a year. That is a great deal of money which could be used for schools, hospitals, improving facilities, improving pensions, reducing income tax. There are a myriad of things that could be done with that money if it was left here. We get a relatively small percentage of it back nowadays because we are one of the wealthier countries of the EU, and therefore we don't qualify for many of the grants which are made to facilitate what they call cohesion, structural improvements and so on. We just don't get a sight of much of that money at all. And from their point of view, you can understand why. There are people in Eastern Europe who need it more. But there's no sense to that, because it's just taking money straight out of British pockets and using it elsewhere. And we ought to be able to make our own decisions about what is in our own best interests. And if that means at some point we might make a contribution to improving the lot of people in other parts of the world, as indeed we do anyway, then that should be our decision. It should not be the decision of the European Union.
Thank you very much, Ashley. And I must say, we have a bumpy picture here today, and it's not because we're on the road. It actually signifies the people getting in and out of this bus and wanting to talk about the European Union. This campaign's obviously a great success.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ashley. Thank you.